Welcome back to STL Live. I'm Sarah Bernard, and my guest is Gabe Fleisher, who is the editor-in-chief of the political newsletter that he founded, Wake Up to Politics. Founded when you were nine years old. Is that right? Okay.
Right.
And you're now 16, a junior in high school here in St. Louis. And you get up every morning at 6 and get this thing out the door by 7:30. So everyone, when they're waking up, getting to their offices, they can get the latest news on our very interesting U.S. political system.
That's right.
And what's going on, and it's awesome that it's just so incredibly current. So I'm sure that everyone wants to know, you've had this fascination with our government system and politics since you were 6 or 7 years old. Where are you going to go with this?
Yeah, I mean, I really love doing what I do, and I really love kind of the journalism aspect of it and being able to inform people. So I definitely think I see myself continuing in journalism, in whatever form that is, whether that's continuing. I'd like to keep writing my newsletter for as long as possible, obviously, while also balancing, my schoolwork and everything. And then, whether that continues on past college or joining another organization, I'm not sure, but I definitely see political journalism where I continue.
Yeah, and you're followed by some of the major news organizations throughout our country. You realize that, I'm sure, right?
I'm very happy to have there's a lot of very prominent journalists and also politicians that read my newsletter and that.
And that's where they're getting their news, and it's really amazing to a lot of people that at your age you're able to capture all of this information and put it into, like you said in our last segment, a very simple format for people to follow with our president's schedule of the day, and that's pretty interesting, that in and of itself. How do you is it hard for you to write in such a way that it's really just stating the facts and not taking an opinion, not showing an opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I get that question a lot, and the truth is, like you said, I've been doing the newsletter for a long time now, and so it's really not as hard as people think. When I read the news, and I read a lot of news, I'm really kind of solely thinking through the lens of how I'm going to write about it the next morning, and what stories I might want to connect it to, how I might want to present it, how I want to explain it or break it down to my readers. And really how I feel about a particular story or what my opinion is doesn't really filter into that. And so really that's the best way I can explain it. And it's not as difficult as people always think. And I'm just trying to offer the facts of what's going on and then let my readers make up their minds for themselves.
Yeah, and your newsletter comes out Monday through Friday, is that right?
That's
so
right.
You get a break on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes.
And I noticed this summer you took a break when you went to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any backlash from that? Did people write to you and say, hey, where's my news?
I don't know if anything as harsh as backlash, but there's definitely always, every year I do go to camp up in Minnesota, which for me is a nice opportunity to kind of get away from politics and from the internet and from my phone and disconnect, and I have a lot of fun at camp, a lot of friends there. And there's definitely people who always write me and I think are disappointed or not sure what to do with the news, but ultimately I think people understand, and I'm just 16 and people get that.
Yeah. Now, do you ever look back and say, okay, I started this just as an email to my mom to keep her up to date when I was 9, 10 years old? Oh my gosh, what in the heck have I got myself into? Do you ever think that this has just gone beyond me? It's so big.
I mean, I'm definitely surprised. I definitely don't think I would have expected to have an audience of 50,000 now. But I think it's grown very organically, mm-hmm. and it's grown kind of pretty slowly along the way, which I think has been good. And so I don't think it's ever been so overwhelming that I've really been distracted from the goal, and ultimately it's a lot of fun. I really love it. I love politics. I love being able to inform people. I love kind of the responses I get from my readers and being able to hear from so many people, and so I really love it.
And you don't ever feel overwhelmed at, oh my gosh, 50,000 people potentially are reading this or more every single day, because you don't know who they're forwarding it to, and do you feel a great amount of responsibility? Yeah,
I mean, I do feel a lot of responsibility. I hear from people every day from all walks of life and all ages, and people telling me how much they rely on the newsletter to get their news. There's teachers who use the newsletter to teach in their classrooms with students. There's people who are reading it before they get to work, or people who are in kind of high office or high positions in business or in journalism, And so it is a big responsibility. And I take that very seriously, of making sure that everything in the newsletter is correct and factual and a fair presentation of what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't imagine trying to keep up with all those emails that you get in response. So, all right, we're going to take a break. But Gabe, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really an honor and a pleasure to meet you. So visit wakeuptopolitics.com to sign up for the newsletter yourself. And you can also follow Gabe on Twitter and Facebook. And there's more STL Live after this, so please stay with us.